Howdy, folks. Welcome back to Night Bites. I'm your host, Clark Garen.
And I'm your co-host, Robin Coleman.
And before we left, we were talking about the $700 billion bailout. And it is just so ridiculous that they almost passed it, except Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House. That broad had to go up and give a partisan speech and run all the good, loyal Republicans off because she got them so mad. All she did was attack George W. Bush. Yeah, the good
that's a contradiction in terms of her line.
What's a contradiction about that? They were loyal.
We were just talking about George W. 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. What about him?
Okay, well, we'll go with that then.
No, but Nancy Pelosi, I mean, why, when you supposedly basically put it together, why would you have to go start attacking the Republicans? What's wrong with her?
No, that wasn't right. But for the most part, we like Nancy Pelosi. Oh, I do.
We do?
I do.
What is there to like about her? She's shrill. Look what she did to that poor lady, her colleague from California.
She's shrill, and, you know, Clinton wears suits, and she's mannish, and everything else. And then we talk about Sarah Palin, and she's a pretty little homecoming queen, so...
She's a bimbo! Sarah Palin is a bimbo.
Women
Nobody ever said Hurricane Hillary was a bimbo.
No,
nobody ever said
men
that.
Always complain about women in power, and it's either one or the other. She's shrill, she's dumb. It can't ever be based on what they actually have going on in their mind, what they stand for. Everything that should be counted as something legitimate is usually not looked at. The first thing you see in Newsweek is the fact that she wore a peach suit. Her hair was just done. Give me a break.
Well,
it's 2008. Women should be judged in the same standards as men.
Well, but women aren't the same. That's why they aren't judged the same.
We are smarter, for one thing. That's different.
Wait a minute. Well, you mean Miss Sarah is smarter? Who is Miss Sarah smarter than? Can you name somebody?
Not even a fifth grader, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. But no, I really think I've seen this in my law practice. If a woman, a female lawyer, can do things that a man can't do if they do it in a very charming manner. They've gotten me to agree to things I'd never agree to with a man if they're charming, and it isn't because I'm looking at dating them or having social interaction or anything. It's just that, there's something about, a nice feminine woman that just makes a guy want to be agreeable. It's one of the skills you broads have, and you use it to the max most of the time. Except for some people like Hurricane Hillary who don't have those skills.
Hurricane Hillary, that's good.
Yeah, that's what she reminds me of, is a hurricane.
No, she just has the skills to run the country, that's all.
Well, why? Now, what is there about her that makes you think she's so skillful, other than the fact that she's a lying sack of you-know-what?
Every politician that makes it to a certain level is a lying sack of you-know-what. Come on.
I'm sorry, I'm more idealistic than that. I don't want to believe that. Mm-hmm. But when I see her in the same speech say, I'll promise the opposites, I mean, she's just too much for me.
Let's go back in the history of televised politics and find someone that hasn't done that.
Well, I don't remember John Kennedy doing that.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
I don't remember Kennedy ever doing that.
Next week, we'll have video footage of John Kennedy doing that.
Now, Richard Nixon did that a lot.
Yeah.
We won't discuss LBJ. Jimmy Carter didn't do that. The only problem was nobody knew what Jimmy Carter was doing.
What was that ventriloquism thing he did with his mouth, I think?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. But no,
she had experience of being the first lady for 8 years, and she's an attorney.
Yeah, she had experience. The reason we had Monica is because she didn't do her job as first lady.
Her job.
Her job, yeah.
Okay, this is another segment that's going to take at least a week and a half to get through.
No, that really is. I mean,
almost every president in history has also committed adultery, too, if you really want to go into it. Let's go.
Well, you do have a point there with that. The right created a new standard for Slick Willie and his Slick Willie. And the real problem with that is that they didn't make the standard either, because most of the people, Gingrich and that guy from Louisiana who went after him, they left on the same rail because they all had young mistresses too.
Right.
I thought that was pretty ironic.
And your beloved JFK, infamously.
Yeah, but that was in the days when they didn't cover it. That's where...
No, the only reason Clinton gets crap about it is because he had bad taste.
Oh, I liked Monica.
You did?
Yeah, I thought she was cute. Oh, and she went to that school in England. What is it? That famous school in England she went to.
School of
a Rhodes
Cigars?
Scholar, huh?
School of Cigars?
No.
Okay.
She already had her degree in that.
Oh, okay.
No, but I'm one of those who was anybody but Hillary. That broad really just grated on me. But, you know,
I think you're going to live to regret the anyone but Hillary thing.
I may. You may be right about that. Because one of the things that I came to realize during the Democratic convention, I thought it was about Obama and Hillary. And it really wasn't. It was about the ultra-left part of the Democratic Party, the LBJ segment, the element of the party that believes you throw money at everything. The way you solve poverty is to give people money. And the more pragmatic part of the party, represented by Clinton, who was willing to enact welfare reform, who was willing to do things to be more centrist. Mm-hmm. So now, I do think, I was really inspired by Obama and his speeches. I used to really be fascinated by them.
I still like Obama.
I'm just concerned as I listen to his agenda, it's sounding more and more ultra-left. And one of the things that bothers me about him, he has talked about the bankruptcy problem we did on the last segment. He has said we need to enact reform to do that. But to get this bailout bill through, he wasn't willing to stand up and tell the banks, look, if you want relief, you give it to the homeowners. He was willing to be bought off. And that bothers me.
Well, I think everyone, including all the members of the House, are going through the same thing because we're 5 weeks before an election. No one wants to put their head on the chopping block.
Well,
what did McCain do, aside from what I talked about?
Well, he actually probably engineered the failure of the bailout
Thank
bill.
you. Exactly. He had a chance to institute reform in the way they did their accounting so that this problem wouldn't have happened, and he didn't. That's far worse.
Well, what do you think he should have done to have stopped this? What accounting reform are you talking about?
The same, what we talked about in the last segment, where they were inflating one side of their books to counteract the falling housing market.
Okay. I don't think anybody really understood the extent to which this problem was going. I think McCain was after some more oversight of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. One of the things that's really interesting that we need a bit of history is the whole reason Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac went private was Lyndon B. Johnson had to sell them to pay for the Vietnam War. That's why they went private in the first place. But we had a long party with all these mortgages, with all this housing, with people treating the houses as ATM machines and drawing everything out. Right. And now the money isn't there anymore. And we've got to realize that we have to deal with the fact that this whole economy has been based on air that isn't there. And neither one of them are having anything to say about that. But what I will say is at least McCain wants to cut our taxes, while Obama wants to increase spending.
Yeah, cut our taxes but stay in Iraq. That's a great idea.
Well,
let's keep fighting the pointless war.
Well, you know, we can talk about that in the next segment because McCain went on the debate and said how well we're doing in Iraq, and his great hero, General Petraeus, says that ain't the way it is this week. So we're going to go take a break. We'll be right back. Please stay with us.